You are about to embark upon a fascinating adventure into well-being, a journey which will leave you with a lifetime method for gaining unequaled health of body and mind and the sense of a new life.
There is an idea, some kind of structure. There is
Everybody makes their own fun. If you don't make it yourself, it ain't fun, it's entertainment.
Here to break my own ball and chain, hoping the plight to be completely sane. Nothing's to gain if image blocks the only chance for change. When I expand my range, the world's answers judges don't think music defines my character. These songs ain't me, they're just documentation of momentary thoughts. Nothing's set in stone just because it's sold and bought. Your expectations in the category of placement, but a Renaissance man sits nowhere particular. Every seat is vacant to a songwriter, comedian, method actor, author, MC, carpenter, producer, engineer, shit talker, hustler, musician, architect, businessman, student of the scene, and human being. If you give a damn, no matter what side you see, it's just one side. No matter how much you think it means, it's just one side. My depth is only as shallow as time and spaces. This is just one of my many eternally changing.
The artist does not himself necessarily agree with the opinions and beliefs expressed in the following text. Any and or all statements regarding truth, reality, God, etc. should be viewed as narrative contrived by the artist for entertainment purposes only. The artist hereby disavows his own personal responsibility for any paranormal activity related to the listening of this album. The listener listens at his own risk and will hopefully have a safe yet fun and expansive trip. The characters in this album are very real and reside inside the space-time continuum known as the artist's head. The artist solemnly guarantees that you will love them in addition to the assurance that the preceding statement was a lie. Oh yeah, by the way, you're in for some weird shit.
Days turn into years, A students turn into dropouts. Seeing the world from a creative angle turns into seeing it from a couch. Orgasms become lifetimes, bong hits turn into white lines. A face becomes a dartboard and cardboard becomes a house. Boys turn into men, enemies become your friends. Losing turns into winning and the beginning becomes the end. Words turn into magic, rewind becomes a habit. Rabbits become vultures and cultures become trends. A party becomes a funeral, sunlight turns into cancer. The rain turns beautiful, an unusual question becomes an answer. Happiness becomes a cataract, a sip turns into a six-pack, and Earth turns into Mars. As my album becomes a standard, a hero becomes a statistic, a lost soul enlisted. The potholes are lifted as a hot cold leave you blistered. A sickness becomes a teardrop, a cup of coffee becomes a long day. Your best friend's guidance becomes the wrong way. As the song plays, my voice becomes the past, present and future. Transportation becomes pollution as humans become computers. Time becomes space, minds become waste, and a person becomes less interested when a mic becomes an instrument. And age turns into a nightmare, love becomes hate, the 9 becomes a 0, and every country becomes one state. All you thought you knew was just a foolish assumption. Yes, everything is something, but something is nothing.
How easily they forget, no anchor to the past. Cut the blood supply and hope the heart beats itself to death. My ribcage is now my own, still feels like your arms, neck, clothed and soul. How'd I let it go this far? It happens faster than you could ever think. From always and forever to never again in less than a blink. The river runs until it's dry, but I die spitting my legs driven to its mouth to keep it alive. Long drives, wide eyes, and your smiling face. You dance, I drink, let's waste the night away. They say you always know right away, but you can't foresee your sand being pulled into the sea under a tidal wave. Secrets leak out when you're asleep, coming from a queen's mouth. Talk isn't all that cheap. I'm now a lone flame, searching for a purpose, setting fires everywhere I go. Can't avoid the burns, we share pain. You took me by my throat and made me understand the world as if I were you and I couldn't breathe. Now you can lead a horse to fresh water, but you can't teach it how to be okay when you decide to leave. I'm lost, there's no one to protect. I got so used to being sheltered from the rain that always followed you. It's not my first time, actually it's nothing new, but that doesn't make it any easier to get through. The snow won't melt, smoke won't clear, turn hope inside out 1,000 times, trying to see if there was ever anything more than dressed up fear. But the two go hand in hand, you can't have one without the other. than being there. I'm barely breathing, waiting for the spins to end. Begging to God I don't believe in to let me sleep so I can dream again. We went through thick and thin, came out separate on the other end. But please know, no matter what, you'll always have me as a friend. And I finally know your crime is your pride and your past is my only ghost. I'm going crazy out of my control, but there's nothing I can do. I have no choice but to let it go. Each day gets a little less intense. No longer feel like there's someone standing on my chest. You made me more me, and I won't forget the times you helped me find my feet when I was buried in my head. Thank you for giving what you had to give, taking what you had to take, and making me believe in you. Even though I might be gone forever, there will always be a place in my brain that'll think of you. You look so graceful when you're flying. Keep going, there's a lot of world that you haven't seen. You have my best wishes, even if only in silence. You deserve everything that you've ever dreamed. The snow melted right when the smoke cleared. I turned love inside out 1,000 times, trying to see if it was ever anything more than the will to persevere. But the two go hand in hand, the clouds surrounding you eventually will clear. I can breathe, I found contentment in the end. Telling to God I don't believe in to go to sleep so I can think again. We went through thick and thin, came out separate on the other end. But please know, no matter what, you'll always have me as a friend.
I guess this is it. I guess this is time or whatever. So I guess I'll start it like this. And I'll never again be as happy
as I was when I was in the 7th grade. Before the guilt of having no goals ate my life away. Each day introduced me to something that I hadn't experienced yet. Traded A's for F's to gain the time to experiment with drugs and sex. I'll never forget me and Jake's first roses trip together. Or the times we all walked aimlessly in the summer weather with nothing better to do but go to SA and try to steal a pack of squares. Man, I miss being a kid with no cares. It's the excitement of knowing everything you touch is new. I just wish I could have stopped to cherish the moment while it lasted. But maybe that's the point. The second you're smart enough to recognize freedom, you're no longer free. You see, heaven isn't someplace that we go to when we die. It's that split second in life where you actually feel alive. And until the end of time we chase the memory of that, hoping the future holds something better than the past. So why do I spend my time running away when the truth is right here in the mirror inside my dying face? I can waste my energy trying to reproduce something that's gone, but my childhood is dead. It's time to move on. So what do you call a person that's already past its peak? Just a stagnant sheep you keep counting when you can't go to sleep. 2 years out of high school, going on way too deep. Tell me again why 7th
grade was so brief. Damn.
The curiosity that killed Schrodinger's cat was the only thing that kept him alive. Matter of fact, when life takes your life away, how do you get it back like that? Like that. The curiosity that killed Schrodinger's cat was the only thing that kept him alive. Matter of fact, when life takes your life away, how do you get it back like that? Like that. Like this.
It is kind of a funny story. He lives in a 4x2 glass box that reminds me of my head. I wish my floor would have rocks, but it's covered with puddles instead. If I could be him, life would be great. I could erase this permanent frown. I wouldn't even be held down by my own weight. I woke up, walked to the tank to hear his thoughts on yesterday. How was it, I asked, and after a tap on the glass, he looked my way, then gave me this depressed expression and pressed his best just to say, besides the tides and the gray skies, it was okay. And I said, hey, Mr. Fish, you get all that you wish. You got nothing to complain about while hanging out in this bit. And he replied, well, existence is bliss. There's so much that you miss. Besides, get off the trip. Happiness is just a myth. I said, living in water is extremely more peaceful than life. Confined with mind blinded by the evil. I'm forced to see through these two peepholes. It seems to redeem freedom, not being limited by walls. But that only means I qualify as ground for the sky when it falls. That only means I qualify as ground for the sky when it falls. That only means I qualify as ground for the sky when it falls. That only means I qualify as ground for the sky when it falls. But Mr. Fish just laughed as I went on and on and on. So I interrupted his chuckle, putting up my middle finger. And he boldly told me it's Too bad I'm such a thinker. So arrogantly I asked, how could someone think too much? He added that insanity lingers and thoughts brought me to the brink of such. He said you live inside a head that reminds me of my glass box, and everyone's the same. All brains are contained by a reality frame, and change with the brain it's trained not to change. And once you see what I've explained, you hit the jackpot. Yeah, and at that very moment, it was like my eyes really opened. The air that previously surrounded me was now an ocean, still totally invisible except for minor pieces of debris. The Mr. Fish pushed up to the glass and he looked just like me. My whole world spun around, I didn't understand, but I realized I was no longer a man. So I thought about what he said and asked him what was going on, and he said, you didn't know it, but you were the fish all along. He said, congratulations, you did it, you broke free. You're just a fish, like the rest of humanity. Now it took me a long time to get adjusted to this tank, but now I know what I am, and so to that man I give thanks. I've always lived inside this glass box, it reminds him of his head. It just goes to show you that your mind is your own monster. Reality's what you make it, and if you take it away, you're just a fish like me, swimming in the powdered water. Someone grew up in a cubicle, as Plato once suggested, they would only know the cubicle and not the world outside it, and they wouldn't view the cubicle as something geometric. We only know it's a cubicle because we live outside. Now the one inside the cubicle can't comprehend its measurements, because measurements are models made up for and by observers relative to their position on the outside of the cubicle to understand objectively so they can study further. If I grew up in a cubicle, the walls limit my universe. I have no knowledge of the entirety like the outsiders do. If you follow what I say and can swallow the powdered water, close your eyes and open your mind, this one's for you. The brain equals a cubicle, will never think outside and I decide why to try to tie a diagram or modify it. I'm a man that's a hybrid of a body, I'm a pirate of a soul that can fly without control. Realize the brain takes in 6 billion signals per second, most of which are hidden and not given to the senses, whether into a few futile primitive tools of perception, living in a universal pool of first-hand deception. The mind's job is to receive the signals and block out the ones that don't coincide with encrypted symbols. That way the information you obtain is recognized. Reality is thinkable and comparable to space and time. It makes a map of the territory that gives us the topic of the Copenhagen interpretation of modern quantum physics, which states we don't know the meal, we only know the menu that our brain tells us is real. We don't know the rules of our heads. From inside these cubicles we can't see the truth. No one really knows exactly what happens when we think, therefore we can never really ever know anything.
This is the consciousness revolution. You got the right to think, don't think about it, just do it. This is the consciousness revolution. You got the right to think, don't think about it, just do it. This is the consciousness revolution. You got the right to think, don't think about it, just do it. This is the consciousness revolution. You got the right to think, don't think about it, just do it. This is the consciousness revolution. You got the right to think, don't think about it, just do it. This is the consciousness revolution. You got the right to think, don't think about it, just do it. This is the consciousness revolution. You got the right to think, don't think about it, just do it. This is the consciousness revolution. You got the right to think, don't think about it, just do it. This is the consciousness revolution. You got the right to think, don't think about it, just do it. This is the consciousness revolution. You got the right to think, don't think about it, just do it. This is the consciousness revolution. You got the right to think, don't think about it, just do it. This is the consciousness revolution. You got the right to think, don't think about it, just do it. This is the consciousness revolution. You got the right to think, don't think about it, just do it. This is the consciousness revolution. You got the right to think, don't think about it, just do it. This is the consciousness revolution. You got the right to think, don't think about it, just do it. This is the consciousness revolution. You got the right to think, don't think about it, just do it. This is the consciousness revolution. You got the right to think, don't think about it, just do it. This is the consciousness revolution. You got the right to think, don't think about it, just do it. This is the consciousness revolution. You got the right to think, don't think about it, just do it. This is the consciousness revolution. You got the right to think, don't think about it, just do it. This is the consciousn But I never let
veteran, despite the fact she looked nice in black sediment. My head isn't twisted up right, it leans lopsided, but eerie enough, I still treasure it dearly. Born in a vocal booth, I hope to own the moon with no excuse soon to be the groom to a tune close to you. Sail the true stale ocean blue in 8 months, with corrosion grew for 8 months, and the Trojans threw a fake punch and a crow to fool 'em. I've sold my sanctuary, thank you very much. Buried all I carried for a vocabulary rush, and I don't wanna be around when the cherry busts, cause when it does, the suds will flood all of America. It might have been all over if you were to barely thrust, but you got greedy, punctured too deep, and now she's scared of trust. But who can you trust anyway? Every opinion stated by an experience making thought a response to memory. I am my enemy, can't pick my way out of this penitentiary. Or break the condition humanity's mechanically accepted for centuries. It's the water, is it real? How does it make you feel? Being endlessly dependent on external crutches and shields. Sleepwalking through the dust-covered fields, haunted by the taunted souls of those who kept the seals closed. I've stretched the distance and pushed the envelope. This song's become an endless note for all women and men with hope. Open your eyes, you no longer can float. You're sinking and drinking the powdered water gon' make you choke. Burned every bridge over the troubled water. No longer hiding from my personality disorder. A stronger tide is coming. I've been running, trying to function fine without my mind climbing out this fucking corner. I was born a thorn away from the rotten petals of forgotten rebel craft from the absence of heaven's heavy hand to develop an evident level of benevolence. So it's probably better I sold my soul to the devil. This is a message to anyone I met that thinks they know me. Don't pretend to understand none of the issues that I'm holding. I was in a rush to grow up. Look, mom, no cuts, just a stomach of disgust and the fear that I might go nuts this year. If I don't slow up, I'll see you on my way. One day that shit'll kill me, but I guess that it's okay. I've lost all faith in a world so full of hate, and I don't fucking love music, I just use it to escape away. I walk between wanting to punch someone in the face and putting a bullet in my head to leave the human race. Everything takes its toll, but there's no tolls I can take. I haven't yet found a good reason, a billion ways in the corroded bones I have behind my smile. I'm angry at the universe for the way she treats me now. It keeps me down, stealing all my energy, feeling like my enemy, concealing my identity, not dealing with my tendencies. I feel the skin and then I squeeze a real imprinted head disease. Not illin' in this century, I'm kneeling to the entity who built this penitentiary. As filthy as a centipede and guiltless innocence, cause he was willing to just let me bleed while I wore a gang face. In 10 years, no check to me, I'll be in the same place. Planet's just an overpopulated mental hospital. Each time we walk around constitutes another obstacle. So here it is, I'm finally coming out my shell. All 19 years of my life have been in conflict with myself. I'm insecure about every facet of my existence, from my addictions to the condition I choose to live in. Who you kidding? I suffer from excess anxiety, a product of pollution in American society. Stare into my eyes and see the hell that burns inside my mind, and I no longer have an ego I can hide behind. But I've been fine disregarding my insanity. Every form of art isolates you from humanity, but it's revolt against being forced that so-called education for a decade and 3 years of headaches from my peers. Now I realize I could have learned more on my own. They taught me how to know everything except my soul, which is everything I need to grow, everything that keeps me whole, everything that ever meant anything to ideas. So I leap a goal and hope to rip the leash that holds my focus, but the fact remains the same. I'm still bound by chains. It doesn't matter if your chain is 10 feet or 100 feet, the fact remains the same. You still bound by chains. Some people say I've changed and it's harder to relate to me.
fight you. Our friendship was make-believe, peeling the mask back and revealing the rap that's been filling my organs, drilling short, distorted portions of morbid, masochistic, tortured, and unfortunately crafted an interest to orbit my portrait and inflict my image with disorder. The minutes get shorter, the walls start to close in. Feels like the brain is hanging on by one clothespin. I've hidden in the darkness for too long. I make it look alright when on the inside it's all wrong. I want life to change, but I don't know if it can. For a man, a machine, or whatever the fuck I am, I stand alone. Burned every bridge over the troubled water. No longer hiding from my personality disorder. You wanna die my life? We'll come and stay in madness' favorite little corner. Cause even shadows have shadows. And my secrets are eating me, eagerly feeding to scream my dreams away, but they keep even shadows have shadows. To the guilty subconscious of an actor who murdered his childhood to stop the audience. Even shadows have shadows. How am I to break free from my fears when I don't like what I see and I can't feel what I hear? Shadows have shadows. So don't judge my book by its cover, cause my story's just as fucked up as any other.
Hearing her poetry, piercing emotions bleak. With the note she hits, I float, defying gravitation. The only mom I have is in my imagination, so it goes. Mama was a lullaby, daddy was a melting pot. Angel in my father's eye, only cause it helps him ride. Freedom screams through the sky, wounded by a culture shock. Mama was a lullaby, daddy was a melting pot. Mama was a lullaby, daddy was a melting pot. One day daddy's gonna die, choking on the gunny boy. One day daddy's gonna die, choking on the gunny boy. One day daddy's gonna die, one day daddy's gonna die. And when that day comes, I shall return to my mother, and we'll walk hand in hand straight to heaven. And when the clouds part, I'll tell her that I love her, and she'll accept with an open heart, no question. Unless dad was right, and she really was a monster. Maybe her silhouette reflects the hell of his own childhood. Maybe she's so insane, no one on my back when my notebook was read. I guess the grass is always greener on the other side, and intangible experience structures one Leviathan. From the Quran to leprechauns, since when did America fall in between Lebanon and Ireland? Mama was a lullaby, daddy was a melting pot. Angel in my father's eye, only cause it helps him ride. Freedom screams through the sky, wounded by a culture shock. Mama was a lullaby, daddy was a melting pot. Mama was a lullaby, daddy was a melting pot. Mama was a lullaby, daddy was a melting pot. Mama was a lullaby, daddy was a melting pot. Daddy, don't think that I forgot. Don't think that I forgot. Everyone wants to get out of it, wants to be free, wants to see no more. We're guaranteed that the season's good. Till then I'm keeping sunshine on my eyes. If the drops hit my head, they leave. Everyone wants to get out of it. We cannot avoid nature. I smile while it's the rain. Everyone wants to get out of the rain, wants to be free, wants to see no more pain. We're guaranteed that the seasons will change. Till then I'm keeping sunshine on my brain. When the drops hit my head, they leave a stain. Everyone wants to get out of the rain. Everyone wants to get out of the rain. Everyone wants to get out of the rain. Harvested love only comes after rain, even though it brings overwhelming strain. It falls from all skies, so I can't complain. Without it, our growth would not be the same. Most people like to have someone to blame, but it falls randomly, not taking aim. It makes up one half of the yin and yang. Without the water, you can't have the flame. Without the water, you can't have the flame. Some are content holding ground in their game, but when my soul steps to exit this frame, I will be reincarnated as rain. Everyone wants to get out of the rain, wants to be free, wants to see no more pain. We're guaranteed that the seasons will change. Till then I'm keeping sunshine on my brain. When the drops hit my head, they leave a stain. Everyone wants to get out of the rain. We cannot avoid nature's bleeding vein, but I smile while it trickles down the drain. Harvested thought only comes after rain. Artists may talk and give it different names. When they appear wet, they may feel ashamed, so they don't walk but instead take the train. And when that ride stops, they notice the strange sense of degeneration they've obtained. While the world evolves, they stand and turn lame. Storm is prerequisite to mental gain. Storm is prerequisite to mental gain. Philosophies like that simple and plain. Poets play with words to keep themselves sane. You do your thing while the clouds pour the rain. Everyone wants to get out of the rain, wants to be free, wants to see no more pain. We're guaranteed that the seasons will change. Till then I'm keeping sunshine on my brain. When the drops hit my head, they leave a stain. Everyone wants to get out of the rain. Everyone wants to get out of the rain. Everyone wants to get out of the rain. Harvested skill only comes after rain. Architects build under sun, so they claim. But when the puddles decided to hang, it's when their hands sketch the plans that remained. Every man secretly hopes he can tame the beast he fears most, cause it can't be slain. Towering brave faces laugh so deranged. One day we all will break free from their chains. One day we all will break free from their chains and rise towards the sun with good health sustained. It's almost impossible to explain, but I owe all my success to the rain. Everyone wants to get out of the rain, wants to be free, wants to see no more pain. We're guaranteed that the seasons will change. Till then I'm keeping sunshine on my brain. When the drops hit my head, they leave a stain. Everyone wants to get out of the rain. 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 Wants to be free, wants to see no more. We're guaranteed that the seasons will. Till then I'm keeping sunshine on my brain. beautiful world, so fragile and fertile. Pain filled the void when boy met girl. He's a puppet to nature. 1 year later, now so deeply and sickly in love it makes him hate her. The average romanticized American relationship sinks, capsize when either side becomes a slave to it. Conditioned, dependent, afraid to be alone. He needs that feeling that he can't create all on his own. He despises the fact she has a life outside of them. It drives him crazy to think she's not insanely consumed with him. Give her the guilt trip and maybe she'll quit living to stay behind his prison walls and lose all individualism. Well, this is happiness, masochistic torture, plagued by the decadent crave for affection. The needle digs deep to push contentment through his bloodstream and drown out hollow, the pothole of a junkie. If he could only hear her sing, he wouldn't want to break her wings, but emptiness has such a warm, subtle sting. She makes up for what he lacks. Trapped. He can't imagine life without someone like that.
We've rediscovered the lone wolves are dying. Only the lonely resent angels for flying. Twisted, living off each other's sickness like parasites. This is paradise. We've rediscovered the lone wolves are dying. Only the lonely resent angels for flying. Addicted, afraid to take control of my own life. This is paradise.
What a beautiful world, emotionally destroyed. Her became plural when girl met boy. Between several breakups and plenty relapses, routine bred comfort led to serious attachment. Now every once in a while she forgets to breathe, terrified of losing him. Paradise is misery. Too much faith in the life-saving knight in shining armor. Now at night's noticing the scars she can't hide any longer. But they were her story way before he was. It's gross hope to think that he would heal such deep cuts. At first it felt so right, but after one too many fights, he turned out that hallway light and all the wonder turned his fight. So they sleep in the same bed with guns to each other's heads. Dead to romance, boiling the blood that painted roses red. Suffering from post-honeymoon disease, leached to his whole existence. She'll die if he decides to leave. Addicted to the way she feels when they spend time together, detouring the now in a childish attempt to find forever. Despite the fact they hold each other heart to heart, you can't be that close to somebody without being so far apart.
We've rediscovered the lone wolves are dying. Only the lonely resent angels for flying. Twisted, living off each other's sickness like parasites. This is paradise. We've rediscovered the lone wolves are dying. Only the lonely resent angels for flying. Addicted, afraid to take control of my own life. This is paradise.
Silence is the most obscure sound I've ever heard. Those lonely giant spaces in between your every word. And maybe I'm totally crazy for holding on, but just cause I'm insane don't mean that I'm wrong. Now that you're gone, I can't sleep at night. I barely even function right. My memories on overdrive, too hungry and too cold to cry. Miss the companionship I once took for granted. The way you helped me manage the partnership that vanished. But I don't expect you to stay chained by the ankle. There's so much world to see, so fly free my angel. I'm dying without you, but it's teaching me to live. Heaven ain't something someone else can give. It's all inside of me.
We've rediscovered the lone wolves are dying. Only the lonely resent angels for flying. Twisted, living off each other's sickness like parasites. This is paradise. We've rediscovered the lone wolves are dying. Only the lonely resent angels for flying. Addicted, afraid to take control of my own life. This is paradise.
There's so much world to see. What's stopping me from flying free? There's so much world to see. What's stopping you from flying free? There's so much world to see. What's stopping me from flying free? There's so much world to see. What's stopping you from flying free? There's so much world to see. What's stopping me from flying free? There's so much world to see. What's stopping you from flying free? There's so much world to see. What's stopping me from flying free? There's so much world to see. What's stopping you from flying free? There's so much world to see. What's stopping me from flying free? There's so much world to see. What's stopping me?
Just be quiet and go to sleep.
I can't sleep.
Why pain.
What?
I got a broken heart, man.
Bullshit.
I do.
What happened?
I was set up, double-crossed, betrayed by the woman I love.
Who, Mom?
No, Vera.
Who's Vera?
I don't want to talk about it.
Suit yourself.
Want to see a picture of her?
Wow, she's pretty.
I would have done anything for her.
Sorry.
I just can't understand it.
You get over it.
No, Dennis, I will not get over it.
Yes, you will.
Dennis, I love this woman.
You've loved other women.
Not like Vera. Vera was special.
Believe me, you'll get over it.
Yeah, you're right. Tomorrow. I'll get over it tomorrow.
I'll go to sleep.
But I'm not gonna fall in love anymore.
Fine.
Women don't want you to love them. Tomorrow.
There is a way out of this mess, Jared. Just can't think your way out of it. Thought is your enemy. I know. I gotta think less. I had a thought, actually. You have to let go. Let go. Let go of what? Let go of you. When you think about it, what have you done for you lately? I'm having trouble following you, Nelson. You have to jump in. Jump in back on the scopes? No, in the water. The river? Yes, jump in the river. 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 Jump in the river.
We're all born into this river without knowing how to swim, and eventually we learn how to keep the water under our chins. Sometimes this river's so cold to be in, freezing my soul, solidifying my skin. Regardless of how far I see, I never see my travels in. We're carried by the current, being driven by the wind. The scenery we pass will never see again, so we store it up as memories and don't let go of them. We're under a spell thinking that the river should go straight. We set goals and desire to control our own fate, but all the pain we experience is a result of our expectations, cause it's the river's nature to twist and turn. The shit can burn, and I know it. I have the same conflict, but I try to sit and flow with this river's natural process. Sometimes when I watch myself flow downstream, I see the beauty of it all, and it feels like a dream. And at that time I appreciate the river's course. Some call it God, reality, momentum, force. I stare up at the naked moon as she stares down at me. Outside lost boundaries, I'm all I look outward to see. The universe is not something separate from yourself. I know you feel alone, but that's why I'm here to help. I know you feel alone, but just look up at the stars, and everything that is out there is what you really are. We gotta learn to see the beauty in each moment of life. Everyone has different paths and we're seeking the light. The world is divided between peasants and kings, but the truth is everybody's looking for the same thing. Now I want you to know the role you play's part of the whole. Without you it couldn't be, and I mean that with compassion. So if you ever need anything, I mean anything at all, I'm here for you. All you gotta do is ask, man. I'm here for you, in the same way that you're here for me. Each person is an intricate piece of infinity. I feel like if you could see what I see, then we as humanity could be free. I'm here for you, not for any self-centered reasons, because existence is interdependent and all's related, connected as different manifestations of one single mind. You ain't isolated from the world, even though it feels like that sometimes. I see the hurt when I look into your eyes, how you struggle to hold it and keep it bundled inside. It drives a dull blade deep in my heart, it makes me wanna cry. So I offer you a hand to help you wash away the rainy skies. I'm running out of words, but I haven't yet made my message clear. So if none of this makes sense, I just want you to know I'm here. As a musician, as a friend, as a teacher, as a student, to grow and realize that everything's in constant movement. Each problem that we face is just a part of this movement. It seems hopeless, but if we stick together we'll get through it and return to the essence from which we've been uprooted, and wake humanity from these illusions. The second you can look into the sky and see your own reflection, you know you're headed in the right direction. The river ride ain't always smooth, but with it I live, and everything is perfect just the way it is. We gotta learn to see the beauty in each moment in life. Everyone has different paths and we're seeking the light. The world is
It's divided between peasants and kings, but the truth is everybody's looking for the same thing. Now I want you to know the role you play's part of the whole. Without you it couldn't be, and I mean that with compassion. So if you ever need anything, I mean anything at all, I'm here for you. All you gotta do is ask, man.
I'm here for you. All you gotta do is ask, man. I'm here for you. All you got it, man. I'm here for me. All you got it, man. I'm here for me. All you got it, man. I'm here for me. All you got it, man. I'm here for me. All you got it, man. I'm here for me. All you got it, man. I'm here for me. All you got it, man. I'm here for me. All you got it, man. I'm here for me. All you got it, man. I'm here for me. All you got it, man. I'm here for me. All you got it, man. I'm here for me. All you got it, man. I'm here for me. All you got it, man. I'm here for me. All you got it, man. I'm here for me. All you got it, man. I'm here for me. All you got it, man. I'm here for me. All you got it, man. I'm here for me. All you got it, man. I'm here for me. All you got it, man. I'm here for me. All you got it, man. I'm here for me. All you got it, man. I'm here for me. All you got it, man. I'm here for me. All you got it, man. I'm here for me. All you got it, man. I'm here for me. All you got it, man. I'm here for me. All you got it, man. I'm here for me. All you got it, man. I'm here for me. All you got it, man. I'm here for me. All you got it, man. I'm here for me. All you got it, man. I'm here for me. All you got it, man. I'm here for me. All you got it, man. I'm here for me. All you got it, man. I'm here All you gotta do is ask, man. I'm here for you. All you gotta do is ask, man. I'm here for you. All you gotta do is ask, man. I'm here for you. All you gotta do is ask, man. Ask me. It starts out with the question, how much of it is real? The skepticism sets in and lessens your appeal. Next, you study conspiracy, develop some theories, and become extra wary of all your previous learned material. Your tolerance for stupidity degrades. Most your friends seem to be trapped in the maze. You narrow your associates down to the few you can stand, and even they sometimes wonder what's going on in that head of yours. Study East and Western philosophy, psychology, physics. You think a lot more and start to question existence. You wonder about your nervous system's limits. You tamper with reality maps and then ask hallucinogenic induced. Who am I? What am I? Am I forever? All information breathes in the shallow dark halls of never. You can see where it's leading. You wish you were dreaming. If the castle crumbles, no one's there to put it back together. Have you ever felt yourself slipping away? Or all you think about your sanity and how it decayed? There's no place to run, no place to hide. You can't escape from inside and you're losing your mind. You try to think of when it started and ask yourself why, but each thought deepens the sickness and completes the desert dry. Fear feeds the derangement of the inner eye. With nothing left, you find yourself fall into madness, so you cry to your God and act normal to your peers. What if God ain't hearing you? That's your only fear. Each day you think more about your psychosis. No one but you can help you, and you know this. That's the craziest part of it all. In your rational mind, you only know two things for sure. One is that you're totally nuts, and the other is that you're the only one with the cure. It doesn't make sense, it's not how you imagined. You never knew it could just happen. You thought it came from stress, suicide, a near-death experience, war, drug trips, low pay, carelessness. You heard plenty of stories about schizophrenia, but never had evidence of one who thought himself mad. You're going crazy and desperately reaching for reason, but the strain to stay sane's your only demon. Best believe. Have you ever felt yourself slipping away? Or all you think about your sanity and how it decayed? There's no place to run, no place to hide. You can't escape from inside and you're losing your mind. You try to think of when it started and ask yourself why, but each thought deepens the sickness and completes the desert dry. Fear feeds into derangement of the inner eye. With nothing left, you find yourself fall into madness. So you finally realize that you've always lived in hell. No human model or metaphor can explain how you fell. The puzzle's alive and it changes as you try to escape it. It created time and made it appear to pass by. You don't know what you think, you don't think what you know. You're a total lunatic and afraid it's starting to show. Oh, where do you go when your brain is your worst enemy? 666 foot tall bridge on 7th Street. You're scared, why are you so scared? There'd be no problem if you didn't care. Now you've truly formed an opinion about heaven. It starts out with the question, and this is what it ends in. Now I know you felt yourself slip away. Now all you think about's your sanity and how it decayed. There's no place to run, no place to hide. You can't escape the fact that you've lost your mind. You can't erase your mistakes, there's no way to rewind. The harder you look, the harder it is to find. Fear feeds the derangement of the inner eye. With nothing left, you find yourself fall into madness. So you dive, 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 so you dive. And with each foot you fall, the voice in your head starts to sound more and more like yours. Take a deep breath. There's nothing to be afraid of. What you just did was fall to the depths of existence. The place your mind keeps you away from by its own process of building models for understanding. This is not insanity. This is in fact the ultimate reality. The union you've achieved is only possible in thoughts, no more. You never fall if you never fight. You found yourself fall into madness, so you dove. The best thing you ever did was let go. You found yourself fall into madness, so you dove. The best thing you ever did was let go. I found myself fall into madness, so I dove. The best thing I ever did was let go. I found myself fall into madness, so I dove. The best thing I ever did was let go. Life is a play, we're always acting out without ever seeing it from the writer's or audience's point of view. But we reach infinity now, let go. The writers, the actors, and the audience at the exact same time. So here you are, and now you understand. You always were here, that's why you always ran. But you can only run away for so long before you catch up with yourself and become part of the song. I'd like to welcome you to the heaven you created. I tell the truth, this is the wisdom of the ancients. Holding on to something contradicts our being, so fly free, fly free, fly free. Maybe I had to go crazy to get where I am. I felt myself slipping away and I let myself fall. Gotta lose your mind before you find it. When you finally find it, you find out you never lost it at all. There's a natural flow that's attached to your soul. It don't ask you to go, it just gradually pulls. It's always now when you're never not you. So follow yourself, cause if nothing else, your existence is true. Have you ever felt yourself slipping away? I was slipping away. But no matter what I am, I'm me. And I know me, so I'm okay. Have you ever felt yourself slipping away? You are, you were slipping away. But no matter what you are, you're you. And you know you, so you're okay. I'm not a poet or a communist, a comet or a star. You're not a genius or a prophet, you just are. I'm not insane cause I have no need for my sanity. It's just another chain that keeps me from reality. Reality is mine to play with and mold. The best thing I ever did was let go. So let go of the models, transcend the physical mind, and peacefully become part of the whole. The walls came tumbling down, but this time it was for keeps. I've been running around looking for my feet, now they're part of the ground. And make the ground complete, live in the now. And forever be at peace, live in the now. Don't stray away from the cycle. I'm one with the universe, one with the life flow. When you know that that which is below is above, the fear you once had will become love. Have you ever felt yourself slipping away? I was slipping away. But no matter what I am, I'm me. And I know me, so I'm okay. Have you ever felt yourself slipping away? You are, you were slipping away. But no matter what you are, you're you. And you know you, so you're okay. It starts out with a question. how much of it is real. Now all is irrelevant outside of this ordeal. Don't worry about explaining it. There ain't no human language that can actually describe exactly how you feel. Now I see clear through external distractions. Piece by piece it comes together. So I laugh and I smile. In the beginning it was deranged, but I guess all things come to pass after a while. If madness could have a picture face, how would it look? Like step one to becoming the contents of your own book. Right where you are right now is where you're gonna stay. And as long as you're always moving with yourself, you'll never slip away.
When I was young, I was a single-celled amoeba. Then I learned how to go to war over ideas. Now I'm in the stripping Mother Earth of her resources, waiting for the day that today's considered prehistoric. Standing on my last limb, survived by a naked rush. This story was written in my genetic code. Standing on my last limb, survived by a naked rush. This story was written in my genetic code. Standing on my last limb, survived by a naked rush. This story was written in my genetic code. Standing on my last limb, survived by a naked rush. This story was written. I don't want to, but if I have to, I'll make a big mistake. There's no judge or jury when you're looking at adrenaline in the face. Years of refinement to make this machine. I'm gonna use it to the best of my ability. My body as my armor will protect my brain from bruising. Even though it secretes its poisonous power, I almost lose it. Vomit inducing, diluted in the blood. Cause if I ever got a full blast, the rush would be too much. In his grown-up voice, you can feel the quiver when you shake his hand. You can give or take, it's no one else's choice. One day you have to quit running and take a stand. And all the flags that have mass, part heavy heart, part pain in the ass. I was trained not to think, just react. Sometimes when a person goes that far, they're never coming back. Maybe we'll evolve to a point where fear is an experience. It's no longer instinctual, but rather an emotion we use to enrich our understanding of why our human ancestors killed each other when they could have loved each other. One day we'll be holding hands instead of grudges. We'll eliminate our territorial circuits and know what love is. One day we'll be holding hands instead of M16. Till then every human being is controlled by the fight. lose teeth are yours to take. Cuddling our newfound freedom and keeping our eyes open without being awake. Kiss my ear, the pain still taunts. Children rejoice once hero, now dead one last time. I'm really hurting, just a little taste to take off the edge. I run with you of love letters and photographs in a desperate reach for a clue into who I am with a little distant past as a reference. I feel any connection to the bones under my skin. You can cry but you're still getting sterilized. You can show the sun how to come if you know the sky. He'll let you make a mess cause you keep him high with the good truth. The messenger deserves to die for his lies, make it hurt, scare me straight. Curses he who can't burn by fire. We're all falling, show me feeling. I'm your designated diver. I can see the cuts on your mind. Your mother made yours, mine made mine. I know you'd rather be sad than stupid. Genius by day, junkie by night. For the grace of breeze, I never scraped a knee that didn't help me see. Bleeding isn't what it seemed. Let it seem till it screams. Finally free, then you better leave. But the cheese gonna kill the king. Boom, perfect numb, 13 billion years in the making. Black hole in the center of our galaxy. We're still suffering, we're still aching. The sanctuary is closed for repairs. I use God's guided pen and maniac a nice way. Bad habits make for good memories. I'm good at being at the wrong time in the right place. Crushing plots at the corners of her mouth. Eyes white like yours but completely different somehow. Caught her post those looking like a ghost. Cheeks rose from the fresh influence of familiar to us now. Legs fold with the predator's prey. There's no messiah that wasn't enslaved to his brain. If I could do it nails, would you do it words? Every one more crucifixion, one less. Open door, use my fist, but I won't knock. Break it open, it's me sober. Trust me, we'll get out of this alive. Now take my hand, it's almost over. I apologize for lying about smiling. I'm a frightened little cat that learned to act like a lion. While Leviathan's speech in the grip of the patience of driving this cheap pirate ship to the pavement. For the grace of breeze, I never scraped the need that didn't help me see. Nothing's really what it seemed. Let it steam till it screams. Finally free, then you better leave a memory for the head of the king.
I'm making it. I may live badly, but at least I don't have to work to do it. To all you workers out there, every single commodity you produce is a piece of your own dent. End of interview.
I'm so goddamn tired. Can't tell if I'm done or just uninspired. And don't give me that, you can be somebody's speech, that ain't your place. Let me be, I'm an example of a candlelit life with electric relaxation. Brain trampled by devotion to remote control channel changing. Something provoked the whole globe to lower expectations. Damn, what's wrong with my generation? We was the cream of the crop, but it seems we've been robbed. That's what happens when you trade in all your dreams for a job. And every day it gets less and less exciting. I would make a difference, but I'm busy faking this. Instead of trying, change my shift from now to never, and I'll pretend I'm fine. Why am I always stuck at the shitty end of the assembly line? I guess I'm built to be intoxicated with hope. Sometimes it's a journey, most of the time it's just a bad joke. And in my skull's a junk drawer I can't organize. The first to come and last to leave will never be immortalized. This sort of life is completely overrated. I'm sick of being the only one I know that's trying to make it. So right now I'm heading home. Got Sounds of Nature Volume 1 in my headphones and half a bottle of prednisone. That's the reaction to an overdose of passion. Brainless, stagnant, ain't it magic? mission could be so fucking disgusting. I earn a good commission, but it makes me feel so ugly. I'm on some not even knowing I'm an Illuminatus. Just as long as playing agent don't disrupt my funeral's progress. I ain't changing for you, I ain't reaching for the sky. I would if you could give me one good reason why I should even try. Cause after a while this never-ending lame game of what's better could fracture your smile's mainframe forever. It's so fun to be in love, but so I've heard. The meaning has no feeling even though I understand the words. I used to try to make heaven right here on earth, but that'll only happen if you find someone else to do the work. I'd be surprised when my psychosis turns out to keep the driving focus, while I hope the St. Blur cloud has burnt out dope hits. So for now my worthless hound of work has found a purpose. Every time a pound of dirt's produced I get my frown refurbished. 2-for-1 specials if you order shoulder devils. Get swole, running out of petrol, but I won't let go of this gas pedal till I'm settled. And they finally wet me with that sweet blind security, so insecure and messy. Mark today the day that dedication died. Instead of saying goodbye I'm staying praying that I'll stay alive. Cause even though I know I hate to love you so much, I got no better place to go, that's why I always show up.
Yes, yes.
Getting a divorce.
Getting separated, and we probably won't get around to the divorce till next year.
Well, look, I mean, I know it's none of my business, but why? You're married to one of the great women of the world who adores you. My God, if anybody hasn't made you happy.
She insists she's in love with me, whatever that is. What she means is she prefers the senseless pain we inflict on each other to the pain we would otherwise inflict on ourselves. But I'm not afraid of that solitary pain. In fact, if I don't strip myself of all this clatter and clutter and ridiculous ritual, I shall go out of my fucking mind. Does that answer your question?
What question was that?
You asked me why I was getting divorced.
Oh, listen, it's your life. I'm sorry I even asked.
On this I stand, 2 sets of footprints placed ahead of the dirt, softened from teardrops, and overlooking the earth as the son of a moon, protected by a force field of pure thought. On this I stand, a rally of unemployed, disgruntled words spawned from long journeys through somewhere that only caused me pain as I strained my soul, cramming it with bite so I could bring some there. I bleed the blood of a cold stone that roams without a shadow. I'm only deep enough to realize that I'm shallow. My head I keep it up, but it's hard to keep it straight when you don't believe in love and you just can't cope with hate. Metal rust, leaves turn into dust as the difference between love and lust clarifies its trust. If you only had an hour to sum your whole life up, would you spend an hour saying that an hour ain't enough? I've escaped the shell that bound me to cowardice. Now I'm faithful to the wind, but compared to it I'm powerless. The first step was made, and it was a fair accomplishment. The pond was sitting still, so I threw a rock in it, and as my reflection rippled, it all became clear. Seasons always change, so there's no reason for fear. We made an autobiography of our pivotal years. It's all I got, and I'm giving it to you because I care. A lot of the time, humans as artists exist in a self-projected state of falsehood. We're either too close to our image to be objective in our perception, or too far away to be subjective in any matter. This only widens the void that social conformity introduced to our souls at birth. And so I write. But I don't write without the intention of objectivity or attention on the image, but only as an omnidirectional bridge between the several floating tunnel-structured realities present in comparable space and time. See, I don't write for the future, I write about the future for the present. I write with my past about the future for the present.
On this I stand, the oasis of a limbo, adjacent to my generation, facing out the window, waiting for some ventilation, patient while the wind blows, graceful in its demonstration, overall innovation. I stand, a fountain of youth, sovereignty, 1,000 syllables more than a pound of flesh, a deep breath of achievement, a dream and a wake-up call, another hall of the quest. On this I stand, a letter to civilization. On this I stand, the purity of creation. On this I stand, a paradigm for self. On this I stand, a thank you for your help. On this I stand, my firstborn child. On this I stand, something for now. On this I stand, life, love, death, hate. On this I stand, an album, glad you can relate. Peace.
Been held in anyone's arms when you've never been moved, it's really hard to move on. A young saleswoman sets up shop when the sun sets, should make your wildest dreams come true at a price you won't forget. The sadly married set up alibis, no harm, no regret, hoping they meet an angel in bed that could wrestle the devil right out of their heads. This city runs fast, no one has time to sit with themselves, no time to look into our pain or see the same despair in everyone else. It's here, it's there, it's everywhere. Tears soak each card the dealer's dealt. Time taught me how to see every second as heaven, even though they're perfectly disguised as hell. And I refuse to let past bruises cover the light. It ain't all good, but it's all good enough, so I know I'm alright. Agony is truth, it's our connection to the living. I accept it as perfection and keep on existing in the now.
I can only build if I tear the walls down. Even if it breaks me, I won't let it make me frown. I'm falling, but no matter how hard I hit the ground, I'll still smile. I can only build if I tear the walls down. Even if it breaks me, I won't let it make me frown. I'm falling, but no matter how hard I hit the ground, I'll still smile.
Ear to ear, as if that's all I'm here for. Despite the wars founded by the rich, funded by the poor, kids barely 18 are dying, so billionaires can make more. Elsewhere, hungry mothers watch the baby starve to death in a beat-up shack on a dirt floor. The aged professor quotes freedoms without a path. Now he dresses like a widow and preaches love is dead in every class. But curiosity killed the cat and taught the dog in him how to act, and it burned his
bridge to jail, so he tries to drown the guilt with a bottle of Jack. Self-proclaimed rebels say we must oppose the system. You gotta take a stand. If you're not against them, you're with them. The signs read, support the troops, bring them home, no more innocent victims. But when a homeless veteran asks for spare change, you're too busy protesting to even listen. And I'm no different, I live in conflict and contradiction. But it can be so beautiful when I don't reject what lies within. It's beautiful the way agony connects us to the living. I think of the world when I hurt and keep on existing in the now.
I can only build if I tear the walls down. Even if it breaks me, I won't let it make me frown. I'm falling, but no matter how hard I hit the ground, I'll still smile. I can only build if I tear the walls down. Even if it breaks me, I won't let it make me frown. I'm falling, but no matter how hard I hit the ground, I'll still smile. If I tear the walls down, even if it breaks me, I won't let it make me frown. I'm falling, but no matter how hard I hit the ground, I'll still smile. I can only build if I tear the walls down. Even if it breaks me, I won't let it make me frown. I'm falling, but no matter how hard I hit the ground, I'll still smile.
September 1st, 1999, the day of my death. My back was on the cold concrete as I took my last breath. And I saw my body laying on the ground as my soul hovered above it. Damn Eyedea, he was a good looking cat. But anyway, another day at 18 years of age, stepping to heaven's gates, anxious to see what God's got to say. Maybe he'll give me a gift for always saying my prayer, but he might send me downstairs for last year's love affair. Well, who cares? You know, right now it's all a mystery. I mean, I'll find out when I get there. Until then, I can't let it get to me. I'm keeping my cool. Besides, everybody dies. I'll just follow the white light like they do in the movies. It seems like hours went by and I'm still traveling right towards the brightness. Now this ain't heaven or hell, this realm is lifeless. And I hate to say it, but this wild goose chase had me bored. No directions, no clues, and no idea what I was in for. But then forward I kept floating, and in a quick flash the light split directly in half and created a forked path. Representing each side was an angel. Now what's the task I have to untangle to meet the big man in charge, I asked. And the one to the right of me said, one of us always lies and one always tells the truth. Ask the right one the right question and he'll direct you to heaven. But if you ask the wrong one, son, farewell, you're going straight to well. Y'all get the picture. And the one on my left told me not to listen to his fibs. He said it ain't that complicated to find out where God lives. He told me to follow his path and tell God he said hi. Then the one on my right jumped in and told me not to believe his lies. And I'm like, Jesus fucking Christ. I didn't care much for life, but I'd have tried to stay alive forever if I knew this is what death was like. I was never good at problem solving, especially in emergencies. I get a tad bit nervous when concerned with burning for eternity. But anyways, I asked them which one lied, and they pointed at each other. And thinking I had it, I asked them the name of my mother. One said he don't know, the other said he know, but he can't tell me. God damn, this is gonna be hard. And so I asked like 30 questions and I still wasn't sure. Then being me, I got pissed and gave them pricks a few good words. Frustrated with it all, I turned my back to the angels. And when I walked away, to my surprise, I found myself in heaven. You know what I'm saying? Kinda just turned around from the whole situation, rejecting everything that was going on. That's how I walked into heaven.
I've decided to take my destiny into my own hands. You probably can't understand, but for me life was bland and I have this constant hollow feeling. Days are cold, dark, and filled with sorrow, raining clouds from under my ceiling. Dealing with it all would take a person very strong. By the time you hear this, I will be gone. Along with my existence will be a way of life for many. I gave some substance, knowledge, and in return was used to make a petty penny. They defeated my purpose, deleted my work, and cheated me, seated me underground and wound up bringing me to the surface. They've corrupted my image, made me a negative influence. The shady world has been abusive ever since I came into it. Put here with no role models, no one to follow. I've been contorted, aborted, recorded, distorted, shorted. I forfeit against life. I'm a morbid maniac, forced off this rough course, breaking the boards and making my own door. So don't be sad when I leave, cause I know this is right. I can't take it, I can't fake it, I'm sick of life. I carried people through hard times and thought they were my friends, but they only stayed close to me cause it was the trend. And when I'm gone, no one will miss me. A few years will go by, important people will die, and y'all will forget me. I hope the children will be alright without a proper guide. To all my loved ones and followers, peace out, at least I tried. I ain't what I used to be, so don't shed a tear from your windows. I died a long time ago, this just makes it official. I ain't what I used to be, so don't shed a tear from your windows. I died a long time ago, this just makes it all official. Hip-hop, being of sound mind and body, hereby request that my few prized possessions go to the following. Swallowing the facts, or maybe whacked by the tracks, still beauty stands from stained hands and knapsacks filled with aerosol cans and fat caps. My abstract artistic energy must continue to influence and embody the cats that are dedicated to ruining white walls with creative strokes of imagination in a paint splash. I leave all my physical strength to the guardians of the floor, with their arms locked in the beat-boy stance, enhancing the culture to a more ultra-advanced acrobatical expression. Yes, indeed, when I leave, my presence will exist in the styles of the few true, but who knew smiles would persist with the changing mood. I leave my mood to the musicians, turntablists, and wicked wizards of needle, the dusty sample, intangible vibe-setting rhythm scientists. It's my verbal aspect of me that goes to those rising from vocalizing poetical hybrids of life and excitement, language of the tongue. I offer all my offsprings the official missile towards society, the gift of words will come and get you soon. Yes, that's the gift of words, come and get you soon. And my positivity, creativity, originality, and history should be spread equally over all the heads mentioned above, along with my many styles, aggression, knowledge, evolution, solution, revolution, tolerance, and love.